Are you a butt gripper? This is something I see all the time in people that I work with. And if you're a butt gripper, it's a sign of weak abdominals. So what does butt gripping look like? All right, so oftentimes it looks like a stance like this. Okay, you can see my butt is kind of squeezing. I've got that forward hip position, okay, that posterior tilt. And it's basically my glutes trying to protect my spine, which is what my abdominals and everything are supposed to do, okay? So if you're somebody who clenches their butt all the time because you have weak abdominals, okay, your glutes are gonna be weaker as well. Because like I've said in a lot of other information is it's just as important that your muscles relax as when they engage, as when they contract, okay? So your muscles can't get stronger if they're constantly in that contracted position. Think of it like when you clench your jaw, right? Think of, when you're stressed, when sometimes you're sleeping, and then when you wake up and you're like, oh God, it's sore, you're stiff, okay, all the issues, you got headaches, you have neck problems, all because you're constantly contracting these jaw muscles. Same principle applies with every other muscle in your body, okay, and especially your glutes. So doing a little check, okay, for posture. So with people I have that tend to kind of have that forward sway back, and this is a lot of moms, okay, you have kind of that forward shoulder and then the hips kind of want to sway forward, okay, correcting, bring those hips back or that pelvis back into that neutral position. So a way to kind of check that, and do this in front of the mirror, okay, is take your thumbs and put them around the back, okay, of kind of where your hip bones sit, and wrap your fingers around the front. Okay, so if you're someone who's like in this position, kind of pushing, use your hands a little bit to push that pelvis back so that it's kind of more over those knees where it should be, not pushing out in the front, okay? Now, as far as are you a butt clencher when you are doing abdominal work, and I know I am guilty of doing this at one point, and it took me a long time. I still have to kind of mentally remind myself not to tuck with every abdominal crunch. So if you're in a glute squeezer, okay, or glute clencher, it's probably, this is what your abdominal work probably looks like. Maybe you start in that nice neutral spine, natural curve under your lower back, okay, and everything's feeling good, and you're thinking, all right, looks good, feels good, and then all of a sudden you start to go to do the abdominal work. You clench your butt, you jam your lower back in, you fire those hip flexors, and the abdominals really aren't doing the work, okay, so notice this big difference. Oh, jam back in, find space, jam back in. Not a great way to strengthen those abdominals. Your glutes are, again, and your hip flexors are trying to compensate for the fact that your abdominals are weak, okay? And they're not gonna get any stronger by doing this kind of abdominal work, okay? So, create a diamond with your pointer finger and thumb. Place the pointer finger and thumb, okay, pointer fingers on your pubic bone, thumb near your belly button. Imagine you have a marble between the two fingers and thumbs and you want them level. Okay, that's to check you have neutral spine. If you don't, that marble's gonna roll towards the thumb or towards the pointer fingers or pubic bone. So we wanna find that nice level position. Hold it, go ahead, bring the hands behind the head, support the head, make sure that we're scooping up and in here, drawing down here. Now, with every crunch, we think about gliding the ribs down. We don't jam our back in, so there still should be a little bit of space there. Inhale back down. Now you might feel like, oh, I'm not getting as big of range of motion, okay, which you are and you aren't. Okay, now my range of motion looks bigger when I tuck under and I can flex more because I'm flexing my entire spine, okay? So it may feel like a smaller range of motion, which is fine, but I'm maintaining that neutral position. I'm engaging my lower abdominals with my abdominis recti and external obliques to find that nice crunch. My belly staying nice and flat as I come up. All right, that is a sign that you have nice equal abdominal engagement with all of those abdominals, and you're not using your glutes to tuck under to try to bring yourself up. So do that little test, okay? Practice releasing those glutes, okay? That's so important. Good luck.